Different this time, as everyone knows, everyone's pretty much dealing with the closures for gyms for COVID-19. But nonetheless, we still want to connect with you guys, even despite our situation. So what we did is, through our social medias, we asked if y'all had any questions for us. And we did both get some questions kind of about a random different things, but we're going to just take our time and answer those questions for you guys. And if after this video, if you have any other questions for us, go through our social medias and ask us anything again, because in another month, we could be doing another Connect just like this. So I'm going to have Missy start off. Missy has been doing keto for, like, how long now?
Probably since September, but I kind of took off during, like, Christmas and Mardi Gras. Like it wasn't as strict on myself, but I still, like, just went back and forth between it, like low carb and keto. This is Lennox, guys.
Say hey, Lennox.
Our oldest, he'll be 3 next month, so yeah.
We're at home doing this, so it's going to be a little bit different of an episode.
You might see dogs, cats, babies, just like birds, whatever. Anyway, so one of the questions I got asked was, what's for dinner tonight? I'm assuming people need ideas. Let's be real, there aren't any, like, chefs in this household, okay?
You do really well.
Thanks,
we eat a lot of variety of stuff, and it's all good.
Thanks. So I basically just, like, cook in bulk. Like, what I did the other day was I just made, like, 6 chicken breasts in the crock pot, and it just, like, shredded it up with some seasoning, and then it just gives us a bunch of different options, whether to just, like, one of my favorites is, like, put it over broccoli and then put some Alfredo sauce on it. We make, like, chicken tacos with, like, a low-carb tortilla that they have. You can get, like, Rouse's and Walmart.
We do the same with the pulled pork, too. It's really good. Chicken or pulled pork.
And then we can just, like, put it on a salad or just eat it like, a serving of shredded chicken with, like, some cauliflower rice or cauliflower mashed potatoes is what we do. We do the same thing with the pulled pork, because then we'll just eat that, like, on a salad or with some Brussels sprouts is our favorite.
I think the turkey wraps are really helpful and quick, too.
Yeah,
with
like
the
a quick
low-carb
little, like,
tortillas.
snack. If you need something, like, after your workout, we just take the tortillas, some, like, spicy mayo on it, just put some turkey, maybe some lettuce and stuff like that. But I usually try to make, like, 2 different meats and, like, 2 or 3 different sides, and then we just kind of, like, we also fast in the evening, so I don't have to worry about dinner too much. So basically just, like, breakfast and then have, like, 3 different choices for lunch.
And breakfast is the same every day, pretty much.
Yeah.
It's always, like, some sort of sausage,
or
eggs, cheese, or bacon. Yeah. And then lately we've been throwing in avocado. It just keeps me fuller longer.
Yeah.
So that's
with
pretty
keto,
much.
fats is what's going to keep you full.
And yummy.
Yeah. So that's pretty much what we eat. The kids are, like, a different story.
We don't feed
They're
them.
still on the kids, go-tos of macaroni, pizza, chicken nuggets.
Basically just what they'll eat at that time.
Pancakes. Yeah. And Paw Patrol waffles, right, Lennox? Yeah.
Well, since Lennox is out here, one of the questions I actually got is more of a personal question, but it was like, what was our process to have kids? For those of you who don't know yet by now, I am trans. So we wanted to have a known donor at first, and then Missy's OBGYN's actually a lesbian, and her wife, just for legal reasons, because we live in a red state, and because of the rights of, like, say the known donor would have up until the kid was up until 2, we were advised by her to pretty much go through a bank. So we found an online bank from California, and we pretty much picked out a person whose physical characteristics match mine. So
by description.
By description. We chose not to get pictures. We just never wanted to look at the kids and say, oh wow, the kids look like the donor, I just wanted to see them pick up my mannerisms and look like Missy and stuff. So we chose someone tan, dark wavy hair, green eyes. His whole family pretty much had like green eyes, and kind of like a mixed ethnic background because I do as well. So we found a donor online and basically got it all shipped at home. And Missy was super healthy and regular with all of her cycles. So our doctor told us that we had as good of a chance to get pregnant at home as anybody else. So she said that we could try and do the insemination at home. And if after a few tries, if we were running out of money, because it is not cheap to buy and get shipped. It comes in like this huge, gigantic tank, and it like you have to store it at a bank if you're not like ready for it. It's
really expensive.
It's
science
really
experiment.
Yeah, it was almost 10 grand, and for us to have both of the kids, which is like the cheaper route, because we have friends who did like IVF or reciprocal, and that is way, way more expensive. So us being right under 10 grand for 2 kids is actually like the really cheap version of what it's like for a same-sex or transgender couple to get pregnant. But yeah, so it was able to ship home, and we were just lucky. It took 3 tries for us to get pregnant with Lennox and 4 tries to get pregnant with Levi. And they're super healthy. They tested the donor for pretty much everything out there that they can be tested for.
Yeah.
And even though altogether it was 7 months of waiting to have them, like that's actually really, really, short period of time to be as successful as we were. And we know how lucky we are because we've assisted many friends with their questions through the process.
Yeah.
So
just to kind of like touch base, like it cost us about 10 grand for like all like the shipping and like storage and all that other stuff, but with like outweighed the getting a known donor. My doctor just said like you're either going to be paying that money in lawyer fees because you have to like the donor has to like physically sign their rights away and like give their baby up for adoption, and then Dylan would have had to like legally adopt them. So you're either paying a lawyer or you're paying a sperm bank. So we just
to already have all the rights and know 100% everything about the donor's health.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. So and then also like tons of people reach out to me probably on a weekly basis. Like if anybody has any questions about just like how I tracked or like how I knew I was ovulating and all that other stuff, you can reach out to me. Like I probably read someone's ovulation test like once a month. So
we might as well go ahead and give like a small version of like the tracking app.
So if you wanted to start like trying to have a baby through home insemination like at the end of the summer, I'd probably start trying to track my period now. I would get like a really good app and then just like document everything. Like when you start, how long your cycle days are. Like most of the apps like auto prompt you to do that, but like also if you think you're ovulating or try to like pay attention to your body in the middle of your cycle so you can figure it out. It goes through a lot of changes that you might not even realize until you're paying attention. So look, like if you have a 28-day cycle, look around like day 14, 15, and your app will probably like auto-populate when you ovulate, but that's not like necessarily for everyone. So don't like just because it's like pink stars for those 3 days, like make sure you make your notes in there. That way if it doesn't line up, like you might have a 30-day cycle and ovulate on your 12th day, whereas like it's going to say that you ovulate on your 15th day. So just pay attention to that. The more data you have, the more confident you will feel whenever it becomes time to inseminate, because you literally have like 8 hours. So
yeah, because so it doesn't live as long as like fresh sperm.
Right.
It only lasts 24 hours, right? Was it 24
right.
hours? So
Yeah,
like the frozen sperm
only lasts 24 hours.
After you thaw it and you're ready to use it, it's got hours to live.
Yeah.
So it's not like,
But I found out after that your actual egg is like only like viable for like 8 hours. So it's actually
we're not doctors or anything. This is literally just our trial and error. We've read everything. We do have like a lot of nurse practitioner friends, and our doctor was really open with us. So I mean, this is just like our trial and error of basically 2 years, because even though it took us 3 months and 4 months for the kids, she was tracking and learning all of this 3 to 6 months before we were having the kids.
Yeah, like I can tell the day I started my period what day we were going to inseminate, which was very helpful because the tank lasts 7 days. Okay, so they ship you in this frozen tank. It takes 3 or 4 days to get to you. So those 3 days are taken out of the 7 days you have in the tank. So it's just like you just want to be confident in.
The last thing you want to do with that much money is be like, hope it's right.
Right. Another option would be if you had like 4 or 5 vials, you could get them shipped here and just pay the shipping once. We actually did that with Levi.
Yeah, we learned our mistake from the first one. With Lennox, we were shipping every single time, paying hundreds of dollars for shipping every month that we tried. Whereas Levi, we paid one shipping, got it all stored locally in a bank.
Right. That way, as soon as I got my positive ovulation test, I could just drive down the street and pick up the little
vial. Little vial.
So, yeah. But if y'all have any other questions, y'all can just reach out to me.
Yeah, we're really open about all of that. Another question I got was something that I wish I knew before opening a small business. Like, I guess something, that just would have been like a helpful tip as far as a business owner goes. And I guess it doesn't really matter what kind of business, but I think being prepared to have the ability to adapt would probably be the biggest thing, because I think you kind of have an idea of what you want your business to be, and that always evolves because you always want your business to get better. Technology is always changing. New, like us for working out, so like new sciences are always coming out about working out and stuff. So like we have to stay on the up and up with all that. So I think that's a given that like with time changing, your business is always going to change. But I think just being prepared to adapt. There was a few trials that we've been through so far. Like one of the biggest things that was one of the first things that happened to us was I went to our parish, which like Louisiana, we are in parishes, not counties, but we went to the parish and they filed us however we're supposed to be filed. And then we actually got, audited 3 months into business because they had filed us wrong and our taxes wrong. So then we were audited and charged late taxes and late fees on taxes, even though like we didn't file ourselves. I went to the office and they filed me. They had they took no fault to it. And then I was kind of scrounging around and make ends meet and pay all these back taxes. That way, like our business could stay in good standing. That was month 3, 4. Like we opened our doors in October and I got that notice like the week of Christmas. So the ability to adapt, I think, is really, really important. There's little things to adapt to here and there. Getting ready to hear, not so much criticizing, but what, say, like, our members expect. So I've never had a member come up to me and be like, I really don't like the way y'all do this. But I've had members express, like, I wish we had more of this, or, like, if we had, like, an extra class like this, or class time here. So, like, being ready, not so much for people being mean, but hearing people's opinions and taking that constructively, I think, is helpful. And if you look at the situation we're in now, because of COVID, like, one day we're open and then, like, came home in the middle of the day, watched the news, and was told by a governor on TV, which we were already expecting to, that by the next day we had closed, and then we charge monthly membership. So having to adapt, and how can I give my members a service that's still worth their money? What can I give them of value still? Now we're doing Zoom workouts 4 days out of the week. That's 7 classes a week. Workouts that can be done at home. I have an ebook that's $30 you can do at home with a kettlebell. And we just gave that to our members. We're doing weekly challenges. Like last week we had 7,500 V-ups that we all partook in, and we achieved that. And this week we're all trying to collectively run 250 miles. So like just being able to adapt whatever comes at you, because you already know why you want to start a business. You probably already know what your ideal market is also. But just being able to listen and change some of those to be more pleasing to who your market is, and being able to constantly provide a value to whoever you're servicing. So just be able to adapt. That's probably the biggest
Yeah.
pointer. And always get ready for a rainy day, because no matter what business is, you're going to have your ebbs and flows. You're going to have a slow season and a busy season where you're slammed, and a season that's in the middle. And we're 3.5 years in, and it probably really took me 2 years to realize what the ebbs and flows of our industry is. It's like in a normal gym, New Year's is like a really big hit. Everyone's getting like their New Year's memberships. But we're in New Orleans, so we don't really get that. I think like the gyms that charge $50 or less probably get those big New Year's. But for us, for a CrossFit gym that's over $100 a month, people here don't really sign up till after Mardi Gras, because New Year's hits, and then everybody's drinking daiquiris and eating king cake and getting off work early and going to parades pretty much Thursday through Saturday for the next 3 weeks. And then after that, come March, then we get our hit. So it took us 2 years to really figure out what our ebbs and flows were going to be. So, Missy's next question.
All right. I got asked, how do I stay motivated and keep up with all of the things? I do think it's very easy in a time like this to just like stay in pajamas all day and just sit on the couch and just like play on our phones, and like I've even like downloaded like 2 games, and like it's actually kind of sickening how long we can like actually just like stare at our phones. Thank you. I actually took the whole day off yesterday as far as like working out and everything. So this morning, as soon as I drank my cup of coffee, I went and like put a bra on and like got dressed. Like I even put my tennis shoes on. Like I wasn't ready to work out and I wasn't going anywhere, but just like getting ready, it's like helped me like kickstart my day. I did like 3 loads of laundry and like fed the kids, and then once one went down, then I was ready to work out. So I think just like getting up, even if you don't have anywhere to go, like just like changing out of your jammies.
That helps me too. Sometimes I'm just like, I just need to put socks, shoes on, like
right,
regular
if it's
clothes.
It's like 2 o'clock and I don't have a bra on yet, like I'm probably not going to put one on. But if I wake up at 8 or 7:30, 8, and it's like 9:30 and like I'm dressed, like, well then I feel like I need to do something.
Yeah.
Even if I don't feel like anything, I just at least go for a walk with the kids, just to get them out of the house for a little while. They're used to being home and they're pretty young, so they're not really affected by this at all. They just think that we're just home with them all day and they love it. So they're not used to going to like the daycare or school or anything, so like it's not strange for them just to be here 24 hours a day. But just getting them out of the house, they really like their little stroller walks. So even if I don't feel like doing anything, I at least like put shoes on and go do that. You have a choice every day. Like, is it gonna be a lazy day, or am I gonna like do something? Even if it's like go lay outside and like get like a little base layer tan, like that's still doing something where you're not just like cooped up, snacking in the house all day. So I've been enjoying my little layout.
The sun gives me energy
sessions too. Right? Yeah, like and just like sweating a little bit. I also like realize that like some days I am just gonna sit on the couch all day, and like that's okay. This has never happened like in our lifetime, so like don't really know what to expect every day, but at some point
you have to give yourself those days.
Right. At some point though, I try to make an effort to do something, even when I don't want to, because I know it's just like the vibe of like the universe right now, just like down. So just gotta like make a conscious decision to fight against that.
Knowing that it's like a mood.
Right.
And like you either have to go through the mood, or if like you really want to get something done, like you have to make a conscious effort to get out of that mood sometimes. And sometimes you can't, and like that's okay.
Yeah.
But
you
like
just
Missy
have to
said,
decide.
maybe get dressed, or maybe just like have your cup of coffee like in the sun, or like go outside on the porch and drink your cup of coffee, or
And
take the kids for a walk or a dog for a walk, just to like, because once your blood's pumping, if you have that ability to get motivated, it's gonna happen.
And I mean, I might like do 3 workouts and go run 2 miles and come back and like play board games with the kids all day, and then the next day I might eat like a box of Pop-Tarts. I'm like, that's okay, because like we've never experienced anything like this, and like if that does happen, like I can't beat myself up over it the next day. So that's the thing too, like yesterday was yesterday, so whatever's happening today, that's what's happening today. it can't be. That's how we get in like those. Well, I ate all that yesterday, so I might as well eat all this today. Like, no, I ate all this yesterday, so I'm gonna eat like my salmon and broccoli today. So, that's pretty much how I stay motivated. I just get dressed really and just
see where it takes you from there.
I might get dressed and sit on the couch and binge watch Netflix, and I might, go for a run.
Yeah.
But that's pretty much how I kickstart my days. To try not to just sit around and just be down and eat.
Last question, I got this one, is if I think that doing short distance is better for weight loss, or if long distance running is better for weight loss. And I already pretty much knew the answer. I actually text our endurance coach, who is a USA certified running coach, just for like backup information to make sure I was giving out the right information. But for weight loss specifically, long distance, so like under a 5K is what I would recommend, because that's more like you're going to have a better speed through that. Your heart rate's going to get up a little bit more through that. Whereas like a longer distance, or like an aerobic type workout, the amount of oxygen you're going to get is just going to be different. And your heart rate's not going to be, once you're acclimated to long distance running, like your heart rate's not going to be as high as if you go for a shorter, faster run. Your heart rate's going to be high. And what happens when your heart rate is high is over time, your body will start burning more calories per day. So, like, if I do a fast run and a short workout, but I'm really trying to get my heart rate up, then throughout the day, I'm going to burn more calories. Also, I would put in some sort of weight training. That's why I really love CrossFit. So, like, a typical workout would be like a 200-meter run, right, which is not even a quarter of a mile. 200-meter run, 5 burpees, 10 back squats, and 15 kettlebell swings. Let's just use that for example, right? So I'm getting some short distance running in there. I can go faster because I'm not worried about how long I'm going. I'm not going for any sort of long distance. I'm using some sort of weight for my back squat. I'm using some sort of weight for my kettlebell. I'm engaging these muscles. So then also when you build muscle on top of that, muscle burns more than fat burns, right? It's going to keep your metabolism up even higher. So I could get really nerded out with this, but at the end of the day, if you're looking for runs, only to lose weight, I would go shorter, try to push your pace a little bit faster. But if you really, really want long-term continuing without hitting a plateau, I would work in some sort of circuit, high interval training, aka CrossFit, Flambeau CrossFit, because that's how it works. You build muscle, your endurance goes up, your heart rate is spiked shorter periods of time, improving your metabolism in the long haul.
And also, too, like one day you might be working out for 45 minutes straight, and the next workout you might move out for 8 minutes, and then both of them you're on the ground dying after, but
Come tell them hi.
It'll keep your body from that plateau. If I run 3 miles every day for 2 months, 1, it's boring. 2, I'm staying the same. Instead of one day I'm up here for this long, and the next day I'm up here for this long. It's just keeps your body guessing.
Yeah. And that's not to say that I'll do a short workout, do like a 5-10 minute rest, and then do another short workout. That way I do get my heart rate in a higher zone for longer periods of time. But again, that is just another trick of the trade of higher interval training in general, or being like in your anaerobic phase and not an anaerobic phase. So that's something else you also want to Google. You can look up into those too, and the benefits of what building muscle helps with your caloric burn and metabolism. But yeah, that's it. If y'all have any other questions, Missy is MPKing13 on Instagram, and I am King_Dylan on Instagram. Y'all can DM us if y'all have any other questions. Like I said, it can be business or whatever. We are hoping that we'll have our whole setup for our regular Connect and be able to have our members back on once these socializing bans are down because of COVID. We're hoping to start bringing in our members again. But for now, ask us whatever questions you have, because we still want to connect with you, even though we're in the situation we're in.
Yeah.
Bye
guys.
everybody.
Thank you. Stay safe.